like, you know, especially white people.
Yes, we love
The
it.
fuck out of here! No way! White guys will invite other people to fuck me right now. They get like, fuck me, no way. Kill me, I'm dying, I'm coming back.
Subscribe to the podcast, KFC Radio on YouTube.
Bang.
In Florida and all these places where they don't fuck with no mask, and then you go to a mask place, they make you feel uncomfortable, man.
Yeah,
Dude, I was in Vermont this weekend getting yelled at, because here it's kind of just like, you have vax, you're good, do whatever the fuck you want.
Right.
I was in Vermont this
Which
weekend,
one is me? This one?
This one.
like, fighting with, like, ski lift attendants, because I was skiing, like, your mask falls down when you're skiing, and I'm like, dude, I am in as open as air can be.
I know.
Leave me the fuck alone for a second.
I was shopping the other day, and I was going to the checkout. It was at one of those clothing places. This motherfucking bitch had, excuse my language.
Nah, don't
so
worry about it.
sorry.
Let her rip. She's
This
heard
bitch-
way
and
worse.
I'm
Don't
not
worry.
bitch in a bad way, in a good, I mean, in a neutral way, not in a bad way. Like I'm gonna smack a bitch, you know what I'm saying? But just how she made me feel. So this is like plexiglass here. This bitch got a double mask on, plexiglass right here, right? We 5 feet away. This motherfucker coming to my space talking about, could you please wear a mask when you're standing beside me? And I said, could you please get the fuck out my face?
Yeah, you know what's worse than the
Don't
fucking
stand
mask is
beside
getting
me.
in my shit.
How much
Yeah.
you give a fuck about?
Yeah, man.
You know, and the reason why I'm saying that, bitch, you got 2 masks on, right? You don't know who you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? You don't know if I'm a motherfucker that's got PTSD.
For real.
You don't know if I'm gonna be a motherfucker that flip out. Bitch, who you talking to? Blah, 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 blah. Dealing
For
with
real.
your own fucking health and shit.
Yeah, you know what's way worse than fucking this mask shit is getting in people's faces in New York. You don't know what the fuck's about to happen.
Right. But I'm like, man, I'm so like, I'm not no anti anything, but I do have COVID fatigue.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
that's what I mean. I'm not gonna do anything to put anybody at risk or whatever, but I'm just
No, I
fucking
am.
over
I
it.
will
dude.
put you at no, I'm just saying, my life
Fuck
is risk. Yo, I'm telling you straight up.
Yeah,
Yo,
I love it.
Let me tell you something.
I was like, bro, I came in here with a
Yo,
fake
no,
vax
no,
card.
I
Y'all
mean,
have
no,
it.
I won't
I'm
put-
giving it to you right now.
I won't put you in intentional risk, but there's some chance that you could be at risk.
Yeah, but that's my point. There's a chance everyone could be at risk. It's like fucking
Yeah, I'm like, come on. I'm like,
enough.
enough. You, what did you, like, I say my new shit I'm going to tell people. When I meet somebody, they going to say, this is how you shut shit down. Motherfuckers say, you got COVID, and if your response is, man, I don't know. Watch how quick you get your 6 feet. Yo, motherfuckers will start moonwalking past your ass. Son. They're like, yeah, I'm just going to stay over here.
What I can't stand is the people who are acting with the same level of like crazy fear and shit from the beginning as now. It's totally
bro.
fucking different now.
But you know what? You are 100% right. And the reason I still can understand the concern now. But it's a different concern now.
Yeah, it's just
Like,
different.
we have better way of testing. We have shit you can do.
In the beginning, it was
At the beginning, it was just like, what the
motherfuckers
fuck?
dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now, and not only that, and when you're talking in the beginning, no vax, no nothing.
Right.
It was just like, yo, I'm just
You
going to
get it,
chill.
you're fucked. Yeah, yeah.
And even with that said, people say, I never went. I didn't, people like, I'm inside. I was outside the whole time.
The whole time? Not even in the very beginning? Bro,
Yo,
the
let me
beginning,
tell
I
you
was holding
something.
my breath every time I stepped outside.
I'm going to tell you, I was outside. When I say outside, not engaging people.
Yeah.
But like, and it was in LA, it was a certain level of peace that you had. Like going out.
Right, because
like,
everyone was inside, so you could go
everybody's
outside.
inside.
Yeah.
So I was like, my thing was I would go to like a different beach every morning. I would do a live from there. Nobody around me or anything.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm not going to motherfucking stay in the house when it's all this fucking nature and shit out here.
Yeah,
You know what
especially
I'm
nice
saying?
weather.
Like-
Yeah, you're going to
like-
the beach and shit. I was
like-
staying inside here because it's like it was cold. It
Yeah,
was
but I'm
winter. I was
saying
like,
this
fuck
is
it.
different.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about being able to give yourself 2 blocks in front of anybody. Nowhere near you. You mean to tell me I need to stay in the house for that shit?
Yeah.
Especially I'm beefing my baby mother.
Yeah, I'm out.
outside.
Dude,
I'd rather get COVID.
I'd
I'd rather get COVID.
I swear to God, man.
I come home like, this relationship ain't gonna work.
I'm divorced, and I remember saying if I was still married,
Recently divorced?
the last couple years. So I'm like, if I was still
'Cause
married
you
during the
fucking
fucking,
now, right? Yo, I'm gonna tell you, if you want to get fucked, like hard, with no like backlash, no why you didn't call me, you find a recently divorced, whether it's a man or a woman,
They fucking-
they gonna fuck the shit out of you. And usually, I know this is gonna be kind of tough. Usually, when it comes to white women, this is what happens.
They go.
When a white, you
Yep,
already know.
I know.
When a white woman is reaching divorce, it's black dick, son. Yo, it's black dick.
Yo,
It is no
that's
other
so
dick
true.
but black dick, son. It's no other dick. And not just say there's difference in dicks, but it's black.
Oh, it's definitely a different
It's
dicks, bro.
black. It's get back for
Yeah.
the husband. It's get back for all these years. I suppressed my jungle fever
And now
because I love you.
Yeah. And
Now it's
fuck it.
Tyrone. It's Daryl, Dante. It's Popeye's spicy chicken. It's all that type of shit.
Dude, we've been saying on the show, black dick's on the come up, like in the porn world. Like you,
Wait,
yeah.
come on. What do you mean come up?
like in the
Daddy
porn
never
world,
fell off.
bro.
Black
you,
dick never fell
You
off.
weren't getting front page news with it. It was.
We was
known-
getting, you know why? I'll tell you why.
Racism.
People are
It was
racist.
taboo. It was. It's like,
Now it's
when
like,
you did Bang Brothers,
Bro, yeah,
your rate went down.
Dude, I mean, now like
You're right, you're right.
Blacks.com is now one of the top
Yeah,
sites.
yeah.
That wasn't
You're right.
getting
I had
top
to agree.
billing.
I didn't know where you were going with that, but I had to agree.
I was gonna land the
Racism.
plane. I got nervous for a second, but I was like, I think I got
Yeah,
this.
it was like, and like if you did, it's like once you do your first black joint, you're like, here's the funny thing about porn for me is how the acting is so horrible because you got a chick. Okay, this is very gross. Not gross. You have a chick that's gaping.
Don't
We
worry.
say that all
We
the
say that
time.
word a lot.
That's in our vocabulary.
Gaping?
Yeah.
And then you got to hear this woman say, so, is this your first time? Yeah, with a human. It was horses before that. What the Is this your first time with a human? Yes. I answered the question the way you asked me. You asked me, is my first time with a human? Yes. But with a Clydesdale or anything like that, that's what my experience is like. Hence gaping.
That is the gaping. You get like you're a professional athlete with that muscle control.
Yeah.
where it's
Yeah,
like
you know what the fuck's up.
Yeah, gaping is a whole different level.
Yeah.
Dude,
Man, we,
Can you get ungaped?
I bet after a long
Yeah, if you cough.
time.
It's a surgery or some shit. Yo, if you cough, you shitting on yourself, son. With no
I mean,
resistance.
some of those girls have got to be walking around like at risk all day long.
But you know,
Amber
my,
Rain, she sneezes,
I
it's blowing out the back.
I remember they were reading an article in like long time ago by this porn star Amy Brooke, right? And it was an interview with her, and it felt like I was reading an article like with a 90s linebacker talking about like, look, I know what my future holds. I don't give a fuck, right? Like, she's like,
I know the risks
She's like,
involved.
I know I'll be wearing a diaper by the time I'm 45. I
But-
don't give a shit.
but the funny thing for me is like I guess the way they get credibility, you can't just say you do porn. You got to say porn star.
Sorry.
My
That's
question,
always a big
my
point of
question: how
contention.
many penises do you have to go through
To be a star?
to go from the amateur ranks to the star?
I don't know. I don't know if it's a number of penises as much as it's a
Because they
number of like view, like how many people watch you. You know what I mean? Like if you like Lana Rhoades is a porn star who's only a
You know
porn
what?
star for
Only
1
white
year.
people know first and last names of their porn stars. We be like, the bitch with the fat ass? Y'all be like, you remember Amber Jameson, right? No, I don't know that. You mean Big Butt Amber? Yeah, I know the first and the last name. I don't want to use a race card, but white people know their porn
They
stars.
know our porn. Yeah. There's a chick who was she now does like sports shows. Mia Khalifa. She was in,
Oh,
she was a
that-
porn
that
star
was
for,
a,
1 year.
Yeah.
And she like didn't do anal. She fucked a couple guys, and she was like #1, and she's a porn star. I was like, this normal girls fuck more than this chick. No
Right.
porn star.
But they are, you know, the argument they make if you talk to somebody like, well, we get tested more than anybody else, and I do understand that, but I don't want to have to get tested that much. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you do 10 dicks. When's the next text? How many penises did you get this week?
Yeah.
10? Yeah, you got to get tested.
I mean, that is a pretty good point, I guess.
Like, yeah, you're getting
I
tested 3
don't
times
ever
a
get
week, but in
tested.
between those tests are 40 dicks.
Yeah, it would take me years to catch
It's the
up with
same
next
thing with
test.
it's the same thing with COVID testing and shit. The reason why I know, you know, Floyd, like, we don't want to test, but I kind of understand that.
You understand what?
Not
what-
testing.
Yeah, well,
Oh, like not tasting like
I
asymptomatic?
guarantee you know how you talk to somebody and they're like, "Oh, I never had it." right? But then I think that there are a lot of people that have had COVID, but because they're not around people, because they're not out. Some
They're not
people,
tested,
like people that don't go out anymore, it's a chance that what they thought was a cold could have been COVID,
Right.
but they did what the reason why you quarantine. You had it to test out and be negative. So I think the testing is just interesting. And I think that they chalk so much up to anything. A motherfucker is 95 years old and they said that he died of COVID. No, that motherfucker died
He's
of old
95.
age.
She died of being 95.
No, but it's just so interesting. CDC changes their shit every week.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, that's why when people are getting on Rogan, they get on everybody's been wrong
right.
throughout the whole thing.
Because
up
the reason
to the
why,
fucking scientists.
The
So it's
reason
like,
why, because
you know.
nobody really, you still don't know. I've had it twice, right? You really never know exactly how you got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Sexually transmitted disease, you know exactly how you got it.
You're like, oh, I
But
know which
this
bitch that was.
Yeah, I was. And you be like, this bitch, I don't believe you did that to me. I believed you.
That is true. I've never. I like when
I'm
when I had
cleanish. I'm cleanish. You know,
when I had
but-
COVID, I was like, I could have been here, could have been there, could have been there. When I've had burn and piss, I knew exactly
Yeah, so,
who to call.
but once you get COVID, like even if you were never good at math or anything, you start doing COVID math. The minute they say positive, you say attitude, yes, right? But then you say, okay, so if I tested positive on Monday, that means I had it 4 days
earlier.
before.
Yeah.
So according to
My incubation
CDC,
period is,
CDC, I'm good. But the problem is going to happen, and the reason why CDC probably changed the guidelines is that you're not going to be able to stop people. You got somebody that's asymptomatic, right? And no symptoms, no nothing. Then there's a certain time frame they say where it's very transmissible. If I'm saying it wrong, correct me. Don't make fun of me when I leave. But just do it right now. But,
Transmittable.
that motherfucker couldn't speak for shit. Yeah, he said,
Okay, then.
he started talking about the transmission in his COVID test and shit. But it's going to be a point where like this, you're not going to be able to stop people from working, especially if you don't feel bad. I understand it's like, well, you could pass it, but then that's where it's going to be personal responsibility.
Right.
It's going to have to come down to what are you going to do to protect yourself? And for the people that make the argument, I'm not getting vaxxed or whatever, I don't care. But people make the argument, well, I don't give a fuck. Here's what it's going to be. It's going to change, but it's going to be vax versus the non-vax. And the vax people are going to get a better opportunity at a different quality of life. It's just period. You got an employer that sits up there, you like, yo, I'm not getting vaccinated. You got this line, people not getting vaccinated. Then you got this long line wrapped around the corner that's people that are vaccinated that want to work. So the non-vax, sorry, but until we figure this out, just go in the back of the line. That's what it's
it's
gonna
like
be.
you don't have to get it, but there's just going to
I
be.
lost a huge gig New Year's Day. And that's like for a comic, it's like one of the biggest days. New Year's Day. A special day.
Really?
Yeah, and I tested positive like 6 days out of the show. Asymptomatic or whatever. Because whenever I travel, I had traveled like, I was in like 2 countries, like 3 states, probably within 2 weeks. So just for myself, I always give myself a PCR, go get a PCR when I come back. And I had no symptoms or anything. I just and I was so confident that it was gonna come back negative. I was like,
do you feel like, because if you were asymptomatic, you wouldn't have tested, you wouldn't have known.
yo, I'm gonna tell you what I thought about.
Right?
The crazy thing about it was, I was like, and that was just my own money I spent. It's like, you know, I'm in the business, so you get PCR'd all the time. You know, you're not working in Hollywood without a PCR test. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it, right? And I had that gig that Friday, and I was like, man, fuck that. Do I want to know?
Yeah,
Then I said,
right.
what's the right thing to know? The reason why
right
I said
thing
that,
is to get tested,
the reason
but
why I
it's
said it
also
because
like, fuck.
it's one thing if I had symptoms.
Yeah.
But I wasn't feeling nothing, bro.
Right.
I was like, do I want to go? I'm good. I said, I pulled in front of her. I was like, man, you got this gig coming up. Do you need? I was like, what are you talking about? You know it's going to be negative.
Yeah.
Man,
So if you could go back, would you have still gotten that test? Knowing, if you knew somehow that you were going to get it, it was going to come back positive, would you get it? Because like I'm not
It's
trying
a
to kill
tough one,
anybody's
bro.
grandma,
It's a
but I'm
tough-
also
no.
like I don't think I'm killing anybody anymore. I think I'm
no, it's
giving
a
you a
tough one.
cold.
It was a tough one. And it was I had to make a decision because according to CDC guidelines, I could have pushed it. Asymptomatic, no
Yeah,
symptoms.
6 days out, right?
No,
Like-
5 days
Right.
of isolation.
Right.
And then the next 5 days if you're going to be around people with a mask. And I was hitting that number within 2 hours. Right?
Yeah.
But I said, you know, I was like, this is going to be a big argument in the next couple of years, but I don't want to be in the forefront of that argument.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Not worth the hassle.
And it wasn't. And everybody's like, well, it's not all about the money. For me, cancel the gig. It wasn't about the money. It was about people that for 4 months planned to have an evening with me. People that said, okay, I'm going to 2022 with Donnell. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I always can get the money. I already pushed the date into April. But it was just, and I know, you know, people say, why are you worried about that? But the most upsetting thing was like letting the people down that planned the evening to have fun.
I
with
feel
me.
like that was a big thing with the whole comedy industry. I mean, like
Yeah.
you guys were hit like very, very hard, and the amount of people who like it's the same thing when you get a ticket to a football game or whatever. Like a lot of people save up and pick the one date. And they're ready to go, and then
It's the
maybe
thing.
they can't make the reschedule or whatever. So it's
The
like
crazy thing about it, it was the Blue Note Comedy Club, I'm not mistaken, in Springfield, Missouri. And like some people would say, you're gonna spend New Year's in Springfield, Missouri. And then I was like, because you know most people like get all excited. I'm in New York, I'm in LA.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? There's something to be said about a comedy club and people that want to see me on that day. Is it a room? No. Is it the best comedy club in the country? Maybe not. But they wanted me. The tickets were selling well.
for sure.
And I was like,
At the end of the day, who cares where it is?
at the end of the day, it's
room
like,
is packed and
if
people
you're
like
celebrating with good people,
Yeah, no doubt,
it's a
no
celebration.
doubt,
So I think
yeah.
I'm going back. You know, I think March 7th through the 8th. And I was lucky enough. I missed the money then, but then we came back. They weren't upset. They thought I did the right thing. And then you go back in April and I go kill it, with knowing that I didn't come here to murder none of you. motherfuckers.
right. You're right.
Yo, me not going to that show, I saved your grandmother's life, motherfucker.
So going back to what you just said a minute ago about Big Booty Amber.
And you remember that shit.
Yeah.
Well, dude, recently on your show, you
Which
made
one?
on your podcast. Yeah, you were talking about something that I think
Ass size?
it needs to be brought more into the
Too much-
forefront. I
too
think
much
there's too
ass?
much ass out there.
Yo, you know what? For
Are
me,
you saying sizes of individual asses, or like everybody's shaking their ass and showing their ass too much?
everything.
All of it, just too much ass.
It's a combination. And I like ass like the next man, right?
Right.
But here's the thing that fucks me up about it. And with women that out there, they call themselves supermodels. They just ass models.
Yeah.
Like you,
Fitness models.
Fitness models. Most of these women, they like they always talk about the toxic relationship they was in, how they want a man to understand and respect them, right? And I understand how you can appreciate your body, but if the only fucking attribute you want to showcase is your ass, then guess how you're gonna be treated? It's no way around it. I don't give a fuck. It's people like, yeah, what about the lawyers and doctors? If you're a doctor and lawyer and you twerking, you know what I'm saying? First thing you introduce to people is your ass. It's gonna take a while for them to get to
You're
your
gonna be
brain.
called Dr. Twerkin.
know, and
Your
I
name
just
is
think-
not Lawyer Twerkin.
I think and I know all these women. I'm not saying all these women are floozy or anything. It's just that they're taking the easiest route to get recognized. You know what I'm saying?
I just want to go on the record and say that's totally fine with me.
Yeah.
Don't listen to
Yeah.
fucking Donnell. Shut the fuck up, Donnell.
And then I even
keep
went
doing
far.
it.
I went to far. Like I talk about that part of it, and then I talk about like too much ass. Like you know, and people going to say I'm selling out my community.
Yeah, you guys.
On you guys, who's a you guys? What are your pronouns, motherfucker? You guys, you guys that love watermelon. The guys that love.
There are asses.
No, but for
you guys
real.
like that I straight up could not handle.
No, but that's so weird about me. Not weird about me, but me and my friends, we never fight over chicks when we go out, cause they be like, look at that fat ass over there. I be like, did you see that flat ass over there? Because see, I'm looking at ass, the future of ass, and I'm telling you, the future of ass. If you start with the ones that, I'm telling you,
a problem.
that's in the 20s,
That's a bad sign.
30s,
later.
whatever.
Yeah.
But
Gravity takes
there's
over that.
no way when they're in their 50s and 60s and shit like that, it's going to be over. Now you take what I call them.
So you're going for diamond hands.
Yeah,
You got-
you're in for the long haul. You're
Yeah.
holding on
What was
for
that?
Diamond hands. It's like a stock thing that people like.
I never knew about diamond hands.
Yeah, it's like
That's when you hold on to your
you hold
stock
on to
for a
stocks.
long time. So you're
I
holding
knew-
on
I
to
knew
that
that.
ass because you know it'll be good in
The future
30
of
years.
it,
Yeah.
And I also know that you have to have great hygiene. If you gonna have them joints that close up with no ventilation, nothing, you gotta have good hygiene.
You gotta have a bidet.
Yeah, you gotta have a bidet, and you gotta. I'm saying, I hate to say, you gotta spread them cheeks.
Yeah.
But I call
shower, man.
I call
Open
it
it up.
The ones I prefer, I call it like the bathing suit ass. The
Yeah.
ones that look, and you got women know this size. You got women that have a certain size. I call them the slimmies, and I call them slicks, slim and thick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you got the type of body that looks good in anything. Looks good in a dress. Looks good in a bathing suit.
Yeah.
It looks good in anything. And for in my community, they don't really appreciate those too much. But
That's great
my
for you.
preference.
You get the pick of the litter, then, right?
Yeah, I'm that, and I'm a thigh gap man too.
Oh yeah. Did you
God
know that was
damn,
the thing on the
Donnell.
internet when girls were getting like surgeries?
To get a thigh gap?
Yeah, to get the thigh gap with the thigh hourglass, or whatever. I don't even know what that surgery would entail. other than,
That's
like,
just
shaving
carving out
thigh.
your fucking
Yeah.
flesh.
Yeah, it's something about
Thigh
that.
gap is some early 2000 shit,
Yeah,
man.
that's a
Yep,
throwback.
and then somebody say, yeah. So he don't like a lot of ass. Y'all know what that mean, right? He like them white
White
girls.
girls. Yeah.
And I don't argue a lot. I don't argue. I'm an equal opportunist.
Yeah.
And somebody said, so you don't date black chicks? I was like, yeah. But usually they black chicks that was the only black chick on the cheerleading team.
Yeah, that's you. That's your girl.
Usually the black chicks I fuck with is the black chicks that like white guys. And they hate when I show up. Get out of here, Donnell. Give us our Karen. We want our Amber. Yeah, equal opportunities. I've dated them all.
That's fucking
Yep.
hilarious, man. So I let me ask you this. It's been hitting me how old I'm getting and how like we have a lot of young people at this company now, and I'm shocked sometimes at the references. They don't know the songs, the people, the shows, whatever. But the one thing that I feel like everybody always knows is Chappelle Show.
It's so funny.
It translates white,
The
black,
cra-
young, old.
Age-
Everybody knows.
And it's so funny because it'll be guys come up to me and they'll be like, bruh, I just want to say, I grew up watching you.
Yeah.
And I want you to meet my son. I'm like, you grew up watching me with a 5-year-old? I'm old as a motherfucker, son. But it's just
Nuts.
one of those, it was just,
Yeah,
it just,
I mean, now it's what? It's like 20.
19 is
19,
coming close to 20.
yeah.
And it's interesting. I've done a lot of stuff, but that one is just the big boy.
That's the one.
And it's like,
So people still like, yo, Ashley Larry, like they know it, they recognize
oh yeah,
it, right?
always.
It's like, yeah.
Like I'll do a lot of
It's not even
shows.
just him, it's anybody who was associated with it.
I do a lot of shows with like Dave. I do a lot of shows with Joe Rogan. And like those guys, they do the big boy venues, like 20,000 joints, whatever. And there's no better feeling. It's like, it's still interesting to me. Like the DJ will he'll start, nobody knows I'm on the show. They assume it because me and Dave are so close, but you really don't know. And then a guy be like, yo, this next comic come to the stage. You seen him on HBO The Wire. You seen him blah, 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 blah. And I get little claps. But you fell in love with him as Ashley Larry. And when I'm talking about
Yeah.
fucking 15 to 20,000 people
That's insane.
roaring. Like roaring, like,
Yeah.
like, you know, especially white people.
Yes, we love
The
it.
fuck out of here! No way! White guys will invite other people to fuck me right now. They get like, fuck me, no way. Kill me, I'm dying, I'm coming back. They go nuts. And as long ago as it was, and I do a lot of stuff, and then people always ask questions, you get tired of it. It's so hard to get recognized in this business for doing anything.
I always
So
say
I
that,
embrace
man.
it. People like,
Yeah.
oh, don't call me. I'm like, that was the show that, did it make me funny? No. Did I help the show? Yes. Did it give me a platform for people to see how funny I am?
Yeah.
That's what it did.
Opens doors,
So I could
it
never,
gives you money, it gives you, like.
I never could be upset with it. But it's and I think part of it, the reason why it continues because when I first started on Chappelle Show, there was no social media, there was no memes and whatever. And the interesting thing about the Chappelle Show is that for some reason, it's a way to have some type of social assets that connect with what the show was. You know what I'm saying? It's like you always like, even if somebody say somebody do a funny skit, like what they do now, funny skit, and they do reaction shots. You know, something like
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
Somebody
yeah.
gets hits. It's like just ew, no. You'll see Charlie Murphy with the laugh.
Yeah, right.
You'll
right,
see,
right.
you'll see Dave Lil Jon. What?
Yes,
You'll see like I'm not on your team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's just so interesting how it's continued to be a part of pop culture for
It's the
over
only
2
thing.
decades.
The only thing that I've ever watched aside from a sporting event with like all my guy friends. Like I was in college at the time, and we would gather around
And
one
it-
TV and watch it like it was a sporting event.
So I know you're young and old at the same time, but this probably was before was DVR popular then.
Yeah.
And that's interesting because when
it was like TiVo and shit like that. Like
yeah,
early,
but you know,
early
like,
days of that, yeah.
but like you don't have like shows like that. Like we did Chappelle Show. It wasn't like I'm gonna stream it later.
no,
I'm
we
watching
watched
it.
it Sunday nights, man.
That-
we were
that
there.
night.
Yeah.
You got your weed, you got your beer,
It was mostly the DVDs.
you got your
too.
bitches.
It was
Yeah.
DVDs, yeah, but it wasn't really DVR. It was like we're Sunday night, it's on. We're all crowding around our little dorm TV, like the same way we would watch the Knicks or whatever. It was
And
like,
it was like part of
crazy.
It was, and the
and
next
it's the
day,
only thing. I don't think there's ever been anything else. Like there's been popular shows,
No.
funny shit, but nothing that was like you
Sticks
have
with
to
you.
watch it and we're all gonna watch it together.
and continues. And
Yeah.
continues. You know?
and like the amount of shit that like kind of came true and like skits that were very like forward thinking that it was like, oh, he was doing this like 20 years ago.
it was
Fucking
it was ahead
wild.
of its time. Dave was ahead of his time. Neil, Michelle.
Now, how pissed were you when it all fell apart though?
I wasn't pissed.
No, I would be thinking, we're gonna do this for 10
No,
seasons.
the reason
Let's go.
the reason why, because on this show, I never had a contract. It was never like you're a cast member.
Okay.
You were only as good as your last sketch. So, to be honest, it could have ended for me anytime.
Yeah.
So I never looked at the future of the show. I only looked at the present, and I'm like, whether he comes back or not, what has it done for my career right now?
Were you?
know-
Did you get like? Do you get like paid per appearance? Is that how that works?
No, you get paid. How did we get paid?
Like an hourly thing.
It was probably weekly or
Yeah.
something.
Was it good money or at that point?
No.
It was just like the.
It was
appearance, right?
like,
Yeah.
well,
The exposure.
okay, where I was in my career, it was good money because I wasn't really making any money. It was regular money. It was good money then. But the biggest thing wasn't about, and I know a couple of people that missed the opportunity to be a big part of that show because they was too focused on the money. In this
Really
business, you got to know who to hit and when to hit them.
Yeah.
You know, so I think we was getting like $500 a sketch, or and I did something like real minimal, but the exposure you got, like it was gave me, Bill Burr, and Charlie Murphy opportunity to go on tour back in 2005
Absolutely.
when none of us was really making no money. At the time, Bill Burr was probably $1,000 a week headliner, and it's not being insulting, but that's just the pattern.
Yeah.
But everybody knew he was about to blow.
Yeah.
We did the I'm Rich Bitch tour. I put together me, Charlie Murphy, and Bill Burr. And at that time, it was the most money we ever made being funny.
Yeah.
Consecutively. Every fucking weekend, we selling out.
Right.
So I never, when he left, first thing I thought about was, I hope he's okay. You know what I mean? Because that's like mentally, that's got to be stressful to walk away from that type of money.
Sure.
You could do it for you, whatever your moral beliefs are. But then when you start getting bills and shit coming, you was like,
Oh, fuck. My morals aren't so important anymore.
Dave was at a different point. I remember one time he told me, he said, yeah, man, when I left Chappelle Show, I only had $2.5 million in the bank. I was like, okay. We got different problems. Now, and I'm thinking about where he lives. Now, $2.5 million in San Francisco or California, you know what I'm saying? Depending on what your lifestyle is, it's not a lot of money.
Yeah.
$2.5 million in fucking Yellow Spring, Ohio,
Ohio,
son.
you
You can fuck
the
everybody.
emperor. Yeah.
Everybody in the town you can fuck. It's no problem. Come over here, bitch. We going to Walmart. Yo, when I was in Yellow Springs for summer camp with Dave, I took these 3 girls. I wasn't fucking them, right? But we were over there so long that we ran out of clothes. We went shopping at Marshall's. Bruh, I spent $358.92, and I had 3 shopping carts full of shit. Shopping carts. Like shopping carts to the top. Yo, I could have had a quadrige, snot, menage a trois, whatever it's for. Whatever what it is for, bitches, I could have took advantage. They got dresses, shirts, fucking lemongrass candles and shit. Because you know in Marshall, you got to get something.
Buying
everybody-
home decor for
Oh, they bought the salt shaker. Everybody has a pepper grinder because it was $9.99. You know, but it's interesting time, man.
You have a favorite skit?
Yeah, the Wayne Brady sketch.
Yeah.
That's my favorite sketch because of how it came about with Wayne Brady feeling he was being disrespected,
Yeah.
having a conversation with Dave, and this is the
Like in
dopest-
real life, this was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did a joke, and then Paul Mooney, RIP, said Wayne Brady makes Brian Gumble some shit. It was a
Wayne Brady makes Brian Gumble look like Malcolm X.
yeah, and I understand on Wayne Brady's side, because Wayne Brady, and I know that's something that he deals with a lot.
Yeah.
You know, people don't want to give credit. Wayne Brady, if I'm not mistaken, didn't have his parents growing up. He was raised by his grandma, taught him home training, everything, right? He was a smart guy. You know what I'm saying? Did he talk like, yo, son, word to muffin, all that type of shit?
Right.
This is so fucked up in our community that you want to downplay somebody with intellect, diction, can articulate their words. It's so fucked up in our community. Right. You make them people feel bad. Even when growing up, I had a brother that went to Brown University of Georgetown Law. He was smart. We used to make him feel bad for being smart.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Oh, 8-syllable word ass motherfucker. You know, and I know, and as an entertainer, and in Wayne Brady's case, as a black entertainer, you always want to be accepted by your people.
Yeah, for sure.
And I know it's got to be a painful feeling for you to make somebody feel like their journey is any different from your journey. Right. Your hustle is different from my hustle. He hustles his ass off. And he's a talented motherfucker.
Funny as shit, dude. What he used to do on Whose Line Is It Anyway? Making that shit off the top of his head was incredible.
The dude can do anything. Yeah. Sing, rap. Yeah. So I can understand that frustration. I can understand the frustration. Like, I want to be accepted by my people. And then in the show you watching, you feel like they took a dig on you. And it's like, it was probably when Wayne was like, oh, man, that's so fucked up.
Yeah.
He had a conversation with Dave, and Dave felt bad about it. I guess Dave understood it, and he invited him to do the show. So even before we even get to the point of how funny the sketch was, this backstory for me was amazing.
Yeah,
you know,
cool. Yeah.
And it was like, and to be quite honest, Wayne Brady wasn't that accepted in the black community, in the streets, in the hoods. And he's probably, I heard the motherfucker paintball game is fire. They say that motherfucker got scopes. He would tear your ass up, son. Yo, my manager went with him. My manager's brother, the motherfucker came back with a black eye and everything. Is Wayne Brady gonna have to shoot a bitch? Right. So for that, and for that reason first, and then it gave Wayne street credit.
Yeah.
And it also showed him how versatile and dope of an actor he is. Yep. And I like that sketch too because, you know, it's not too many sketches you can say out there that are dark, that are funny.
Right.
You know,
yeah, when he's killing people.
But the funny thing about it, it was so funny because the scene that everybody remembers is Wayne Brady gonna have to choke a bitch.
Yeah.
The young lady that he was saying, the woman that came up, to the one say, "Hey Dave, I like your show." She was a good friend of mine, right? But then we trying to coach Wayne. Choke a bitch. He did not want to say it. He gave us like 5 different alt lines.
What were they? What do you want to say?
Is Wayne Brady going to have to hurt someone?
Yeah.
You know, is Wayne Brady going to have to choke you?
Right.
But it was the bitch part that was hard.
But good on you guys for making him do it, because that would not have hit the same at all.
We encourage him to listen to Too Short a little bit more. If you want to get in touch with bitch, you know, this bitch got me paying rent. Oh my God. I'm bringing that word back just for that goddamn Bruno Mars Anderson .Paak show.
Yeah.
But that sketch was so dope. And then I was a part of that sketch, but it was like, I used to, the time I wasn't making a lot of money doing too much of anything. So, like, I used to go on set on my days off because I knew I'd get to get some free food and also get to possibly be in a sketch. And in Wayne Brady's sketch, I was just hanging out, right? And Neil Brennan was like, yo, you want to go get shot? Very interesting question to ask a black man, right? Right? You want to get shot
Neil.
again? And I was like, yeah, all right. I went outside, we set the cameras up, and they told me what the situation was, and I was like, oh shit, it's Wayne Brady, son. And I did like this, and my arm got caught onto the gate. And it was like, that was my jacket. My arm got caught in the gate, and I was stuck, and I was just swinging. And nobody ever, if you look at that shot, when I get shot, when I go back, if you see I lay back, my arm is
stuck.
Caught.
Yeah.
But I just started swinging with the shit. And nobody said cut. So I kept doing it, and we did it one take. They was like, what else are we going to do?
Get that again. Yeah.
And it's crazy because I've been a part of some dope stuff. I just did a hot show on Stars called BMF, Black Mafia Family, that 50 Cent is executive producer of. All his shows are successful on that network.
Sure.
I just did a very popular show on BET called The 20s. Lena Waithe is the creator of it. And
Big names, man.
Did that. I just did a special with Dave.
Yeah.
Not with him. He was executive producer that's
Right.
supposed to drop in February. They have a new project on HBO called The Winning Team about the Lakers
Yeah.
back in the
yeah.
80s. This is a sports doc. And it's been I've been doing,
That's Adam McKay, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I've never stopped doing dope shit. You know
Yeah.
what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
those
Even-
producers you just lifted off. Are
even,
insane.
you know-
Yeah,
those are
those
like
are
four of the best
monster
producers
names.
The
out
Wire,
right
even
now.
like The Wire, Chappelle Show. I think it was one of those entertainment magazines, maybe like 5 years ago. They did a list of the top 100 television shows in history, and I was a part of 2 of those shows.
Especially at that time period. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? They were right around the same time, really, right? It's
There
like,
was like
those are
Well, there was-
monster
there was-
shows from that era to be a part
there
of.
was no comic out that was doing a dramatic series and a fucking comedic series
Yeah.
at the same time, 2 different genres.
Dude, even Burr, like 15 years later, whatever, when Burr got into Breaking Bad, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is weird. Like, see, even and that was 15 years later after.
It's just about you said that because you knew Bill Burr as more of a stand-up and a comedian
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
Interesting part, when I first started, I was booking more acting work than comedy. And when I started coming on the comedy scene, people was like this, yo, that actor's trying to be a comedian now.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It was always a comedian that was playing around with make-believe.
Yeah.
you know? But and I say that to say, I've done some good. I've been 27 years. I've been consistent, and the thing that I promise myself more is not the getting the TV opportunities, to movie shit. That's more for your ego. It takes a long time before you start making money doing acting. But the thing that I get out of the time that I've been doing it is that every year for 27 years, as a stand-up, I feel like I get better. And I'm talking about, I don't know if anybody ever seen me live, but we're talking about never going down. Like always
Always
like,
getting better.
oh man, there's no way he can get funnier than this.
Right.
Then the next year I'll maybe find something on how to make my body more physical. He's never going to get more funny than this. And maybe I dig down and say, okay, you're doing the physical stuff, but can your words stand alone? Like I test myself. I can add the Donnell effect to any joke. Like the hey, yo.
The voice.
The voice and everything.
Yeah.
But sometimes I test myself standing straight up and be like this. All right, how strong is this shit if I just say it?
Right. Yeah,
You know?
when you have like a easy, like if you like that voice is so funny and energetic that it'll get a reaction every time.
Right.
But do you
But
want?
I said-
Do you want to use?
But I
it?
want a combination because it's exactly who I am.
Yeah. It's like,
my-
and that's the thing. It's also like, as a fan, I want to hear the
Right.
Donnell effect, you know. But you don't want it to be a crutch. But it's also like give the fans what they want, and you
That's
know,
why I'm really like the film, TV. I'm like the acting. I'm playing a character, make believe. Stand up. I'm doing my show. But the thing I like about my podcast, the Donnell Rollins Show, is that 45 minutes to an hour, you get to see different sides of me.
Yep.
And I've been doing this podcast for like a year and a half. And you know this game. I had it going for like 67 episodes. And then the world started opening back up. I started going back on the road. I didn't have too much time for it. And I just let it go for like 4 months. You know what that means to a podcast.
Yeah.
You got to start all
you
over.
gotta keep going.
I came back. It's more me. I had a great interview with Steve-O the other day.
Dude,
was
it's actually funny because as you were describing your pay and your situation at Chappelle Show, that's exactly who I was thinking of because
With
we got to
Jackass.
Steve-O when he was
He
like,
was making no money.
I think it was $150.
Yeah,
They
but
got
you know what I
arrested.
really enjoyed about that was that I know I took him somewhere on an interview that a lot of people don't go.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I know we could talk about all the crazy antics, but what makes you happy?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Do you feel like you were happier as a young Steve-O or now? And he kept it real. He was like, man, I would be lying to say I didn't have a good time at that time. Because most people, like, when they doing recovery or sobriety, they always, it's so horrible. It was so horrible. But he was like, no, motherfucker.
It was awesome.
I was like, this, have you ever got a chick to do a line of coke off your dick? You know what I'm saying? You know Amber and them do that. That's how the party starts.
Steve-O was probably the one doing it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he don't have no problem with that too. White people are so insecure. I mean, secure with their sexuality.
He's like, Johnny, come over here.
Yeah. Let me blow you. We'll forget about it tomorrow. You sucked my dick for a beer, asshole.
You're not wrong.
And then I interviewed Chaz Parliamentary.
Yeah, saw that.
Voluntary, yeah.
And then
He's a real one. He's one of the last like real OG.
It made me feel so good to people
We
like
should get
this
him in here.
on your show down there. What's your interview style? I said I don't have no style.
Just
I
talk.
don't prepare.
Yeah, just have
You
a
know,
conversation.
Which I feel like, so we do some prep, we kind of try and find a middle ground, but I always wish I didn't do any prep at all, because I almost feel bad asking a guest a question that I should know, like, where are you from? Or something
But
like
but
that.
that's what. But
most viewers don't know.
But I
So-
know. But see, that's the thing is like me. I'm like this. Oh God, what are you gonna? You don't even have to interview me. You can just go look up Google me.
Yeah.
But then you got to remember that it's some people that may not know you.
Right.
Even when I
And they
did
want to hear it
Chaz,
in your words. And they
yeah,
want,
when I Chaz, we did a podcast swap.
Okay.
I did his.
Yeah.
He did mine. And when I first, I was like starstruck because like, man, every black person love Bronx Tale. They
Yeah.
love him,
Yeah.
love him, all the stuff he did. So when I first met him, I was like, "How you doing?" He was like, "Okay." So when you're a funny guy, right? He's like, "So look, I got some stuff. I'm gonna tee you up." You know, so I want you to win. When I interview people, I want them to be the stars. And he said, and you know, my audience, my fans are not gonna know you. And I said, what? I was like, what did you just say? And he said that shit like, yo, my fans, they're not gonna know you, right? And I heard him talking about his son, right? He said, my fans not gonna know me. You not gonna know me. They're not. He said, I mean, maybe a couple of them, whatever. I said, you got a son, right? He said, yeah. I said, how old is your son? He said, Dante, he's 26. He looked at me like, I was like, so you're a fan of your son, right? He said, of course, yeah. I said, I'll make a bet with you right now. $50 that he knows me. And $500 if he says, oh shit. Right? And then he was looking like, you got to bet. So his son came to pick up at the podcast. His son's outside, waiting dad come outside. So Chaz is like, yo, Dante, he's like, you coming? He said, no. And then Chaz looked at me like this. I want you to come inside. He looked like, I want you to come inside. He was like, for what? Just come inside. He came inside, right? First thing his son did like this. Oh. Chaz over the corner, right? He said, oh. Then he said, oh shit. So I said, $550. Right? And then this was it. He's looking at me like, God damn it. Right? And then his son said, you mind if I get a picture with you?
Yeah.
I said, of course. If your father takes the fucking picture. So I got a picture. He's got a picture of me. I got a picture of his father taking a picture of
picture
the
of
person
you guys.
nobody would know. But it was cool. But it
That's
made me
great.
also realize, like, you say certain people do certain things, but our lives are so parallel on so many different levels.
Yeah.
Like, okay, was my path the same as his path? But there was the similarities was the hustle.
Sure.
Same thing with what you guys do or
Yeah,
whatever.
absolutely.
That's it. Like, it's all about the hustle.
Yep.
You know, you get to a certain level of success and money, whatever, and it's okay. Most people I know that's super, super wealthy, they don't talk about money.
Right.
Most billionaires I know, the thing they talk about,
Bro, how many billionaires you know?
I know a lot.
Such a drop.
How many billionaires?
I probably know about 15 or 20.
There's only like 100 in the whole world.
I know the motherfuckers. And I've been around them, right? But
You met Elon? You know Elon, right?
Elon.
Dave knows Elon. You
yeah.
guys all hanging out, right?
Robert Graham, Bob Johnson. I know some billionaires and them motherfuckers.
You know
don't even
billionaires like we know porn stars, dude.
Yeah.
you know the first and last names.
But what I found out with them is that they're not interested in talking about what they got.
Yeah.
They love talking about how they got it. They love talking about
The path they took and how they
the
got
path,
there. Yeah.
and they will remind you it wasn't all. I was hanging out with this billionaire in Miami through music, and this is not. It's my friends know these people. It's not like, but then they meet me and it's cool, and we were on this dude had this fucking super yacht and everything, and all he kept on saying was, it wasn't always like this.
Yeah.
It started this way. We're talking about when we had that, and that's the story that there's similarities in almost anybody that has a hustler mindset. You know, whether it's an actor, whether it's somebody that's working for corporate America that works their way up from the mailroom to blah, 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 till they're doing their own shit. Everybody got to hustle, and I've always thought that that's the most interesting thing about life is how hard you hustle and how hard you live.
I guess that does make sense because you think like, and it's on a completely different scale, but I'm relating to it because it's what we do. Where like people come to this office like, I can't believe what Barstool's like. I'm like, dude, this
It's not.
back in the day it was better.
Yeah.
We had this little fucking shithole.
I can't
like, that
listen
was
to-
the time.
Another thing is like, it's like a work factory out there.
Yeah.
Like it's
No,
like,
people expect it's gonna be like frat boys and
no,
parties
it
and
feels
shit.
like a fucking Barstool sweatshop.
Yes, I know. People, they, head down, just fucking typing away, and it's
But
like.
but that goes to show, like I was
we're
like,
working though. People
when
think
you-
it's like a party and shit. It's like no, we
when
gotta
you
sell
see
shit. We
Barstool,
gotta,
but guess when you do such a good job, it looks like it's not that many people involved. You know, you look at it like this. Oh, this was like 1 or 2 people. You don't consider the research.
It's a
It reminds
whole
me.
machine.
Russell Simmons had a when the web shit was blowing. It was called 360 Hip Hop, and he had a situation similar to this. It was like a warehouse area in Chelsea, I think, and it was just like tables, desks, fucking tables and desks of motherfuckers. It was just for one website.
Right.
Yeah.
People don't understand.
Lights
what it
don't
takes.
even like work over there. It's like you're
Yeah.
working in the
But there's
dark.
a lot of motherfuckers here.
Yeah, even I'm
The-
like, there's too many people. I know how much work goes on. I'm still like, what the fuck is everybody doing here?
How do you deal with that, or how does Dave deal with that? Like you're talking about like doing the venues. Like
First off, I don't answer questions for Dave.
okay, so I
I
guess
just want
how-
to say that to see how you reacted to that. And you came back with a part 2, like, okay, I knew that, but
no, like where you're saying how people talk about it. Like you were saying, he does the mega venues, right? Like 20,000. Where when we saw him at MSG, it was like a god walking on stage.
oh my God, I know that feeling. I know that feeling because we did MGM Grand, and that feeling, like I had just slaughtered, and I was like, yo, can this room get fucking harder than that?
Yeah.
And I told him I slaughtered, like people going crazy, and then he came out, and it just was like.
Dude, it's like
Like to
it's-
feel it from where I had them, and to find there's another
They can
level.
go higher, yeah.
And it was just like it felt like, and I was behind him. It felt like I was walking in the ring with Muhammad Ali, man.
Yeah. I don't think Dave said a word for 3 minutes when he walked on stage.
And
He was
I
just
told
like
him-
arms up.
We always
like,
talk
yeah.
about it. And he doesn't do. I was like, nigga. I was like, you could sizzle for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Like
real.
that, like he could do that Michael Jackson sizzle. Just stand there.
For real.
He just doesn't. I know he appreciates it, but I know been around. He don't want to connect that. That's why he tell him always sit down. Let's go.
Yeah.
And just be able
Yeah.
to talk.
When you, I mean, I've always like when you get to do those shows and you get to do the Garden or one of these fucking arenas. Like, are you ready for that? If you're doing theaters and shit, but all of a sudden,
I'm ready for it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter
And
if
what-
it's 20,000, 5,000.
It don't matter.
500.
And then the thing about it is like, the thing that gets you ready for those shows are the shows when 10 people are in the audience,
Yeah.
the 50 people. Even though we do like stadiums and like some big numbers, we never run away from the 30 people in the audience, the 50 people, the 100, the 200, the 1,000.
Yeah.
Those people are the ones that prepare you for those big joints. And the people that have the most success playing those places are the ones that put the work in. You got to stay in the gym.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me one time, it was a young lady, she was going to do a favor for me, my son's shower. It was a celebrity chef that was a friend of mine that was going to help me with the food or whatever. As we get closer to the date, the person started backing out, started saying, talk to my assistant and all this type of stuff. And then that person said to me, like just, it was their real feelings. They said, Donnell, I don't do open mics. Do you do open mics? Indicating they were at a certain level.
Right.
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 They said, I don't do open mics. Do you do open mics? I said, do I do open mics? I said, I just did a show at Radio City Music Hall. I stood up 6,500 people, standing ovation, left, got in a car, and went to do a show in Brownsville, Brooklyn for 50 people. Bitch, I am open mic.
Yeah, I do it. I do it all. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's
the way
I
to
don't.
be.
That's
the way to keep
so
it.
that's like an addiction to entertaining. Almost.
Yeah,
Like,
it
you
is,
just
and I
wanna
feel
that.
I don't like anybody's ever seen me live. I give it. I leave it all out there. Every show I leave. Every show for 27 years. Never showed that I phoned it in.
Yeah.
Never showed that I did not go on stage saying this is gonna be the hardest I rip. You know, I leave it out there and like that's just it. I don't think a lot of people have those work.
Well, that's
ethics
how.
so much.
I mean, the people who don't do it that way don't get to Radio City. I don't think. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a lot of people that cheat their way.
Well, some but those,
Yeah, but I'm just
they
saying-
can't, they're not going to last 27. You know, you might get
Yeah.
to the top for some reason or another, but to have prolonged success of those places, I think you have to have that.
Yeah, and for the
mentality.
most part, my entire career, I have not really made a living off of film and television. I've had some times where I've done it,
Right.
but for the most part, my money
Touring.
is touring.
Yeah.
And I'm not mad at it.
No.
One thing about it, you know, with council coach and everything,
Yeah.
you can't. I've put the work in as a stand-up over the years that you can't make me
Can't
starve.
because you have.
You can't make me starve.
No, yeah.
Maybe you not be like,
Once you have the
maybe I
audience
won't be on
built
this
in.
TV show, whatever. But you can't stop people from coming out. And
Right.
spending money.
If they like you, they like you. Yeah.
And that's good.
Yeah.
And I'm cool. I'm content with. Man, after I spent a summer in Yellow Springs in Ohio, and realized like what are the things that we really need to value in life.
Yeah.
I live in LA, but I don't like it. I could really see myself doing some Chappelle shit, living in a fucking house.
Where's
in a
home for you?
cornfield.
Where are you originally from?
LA, Washington D.C., Alexandria, Virginia is where I started. Most of my career was in New York.
Right.
Moved to LA probably like 10 or 11 years ago, but I really connected with simple life.
Yeah. How about how we saw you on The Cabin when you rolled up?
I got
Bert was-
PTSD off of
I
that.
bet, man.
Yo,
Bert and
I-
Bobby Lee naked together is like, oh my
No, first
fucking
off,
god, dude.
First off, it was supposed to be Bobby Lee got cast at the last minute. It was supposed to be me, Bert, and Bill Burr.
Oh, okay.
Right. So I think Bill Burr had something that he committed to Bert because it's all family. Then he got a big acting gig or something. He couldn't do it.
Right.
So I didn't know that until I went to work. I looked at trailers, and I saw Bobby Lee. I was like, this motherfucker gonna get naked.
It's gonna get weird.
So I go in the house. Bert Kreischer's laying on a bearskin rug, butt ass naked. No, I'm like, oh, here we go with this bullshit, right?
This white people.
I don't want to
shit.
ruin the episode. Frat boy shit. They love
Yeah.
this shit.
Yeah.
And they know that I'm not going to be none of that. So I'm like, oh, this motherfucker.
That's
This-
what made it so funny though, is
yeah,
having
this-
somebody
this
else be like,
motherfucker
fuck this.
come in. And then I look over, Bobby Lee is over there. And before, nobody even told him to get naked. Nobody said shit. He was like, oh, dick and balls, let's go. And he's butt naked and just went down there so comfortable. And then he's coming to me like, Donnell, what is wrong with you? You don't like me, do you? What do you think I'm gay? You think I'm gay? You think I'm gay? What, you don't like me? Why you never hug me? Give me a hug, please. Give me a hug. I'm like, you got your dick in your hands, son. He's like, that motherfucker is like this. What's wrong, Donnell? What's wrong? What's wrong? You don't like me? I think you're funny. You don't think I'm funny, Donnell? But it was a good show. And all those guys are my friends. We got different style, just different style of humor. But the people liked the show. It was fun. And the best thing about it is like, we all colleagues and shit. And it's nothing like when you can help your man get some exposure, help your man get some money.
Yeah.
And it's all good.
Yeah, it's all like a family out there, I feel like, with you guys. It's unbelievable. You're all very
When does this
fun.
episode drop?
What do we got? It's either tomorrow or next or
tomorrow.
Tuesday. Tomorrow?
Not no next, motherfucker.
Tuesday.
We're not next to that shit. This got to sell tickets too.
Yeah, let's go tomorrow.
Like this, yeah, this is gonna
Tomorrow
come
it
out. When is it? May? Yeah. No, we got it. February, Black History Month. We play all our guests. We just knock all these motherfuckers out at one time.
Why? What do you got? What do you got coming up? Tell the people.
Now, Caroline's, I've been at Caroline's on Broadway in New York. I've been going there for like 15
Yeah, we
years.
love it there, yeah.
January 27th, whenever this plays, January 27th and 30th. And then after that, I'll be at the Ontario Improv. When is that? February the 4th
Okay.
through the 6th. I'm doing a lot of touring. DonnellRollins.com has all everywhere I'm going to, everywhere I'll perform. Some good things happening on TV. But, yo, it's just, no, this is crazy. After 27 years, like, I feel like it's just keep going, bro.
Yeah. Just keep
You know what I'm
going.
saying?
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like and it's so funny now because a lot of things are coming together for me. People are like, yo, I see you everywhere. And they're like, man, you lucky, blah, blah, blah. I was like, it's none of that, motherfucker. It's all
This
hard
work. Yeah.
It's all hearing a motherfucker tell you no, fuck you, and everything.
Yeah.
And you still doing
That's
it.
gotta feel particularly good because, like, I think even with us, or maybe I'll speak for myself, we're like, I feel like every day could end tomorrow.
Yeah.
So like the constant rise.
just
even with
27 years.
like, it's so interesting. I'm an older guy now, right? And it's we're like everybody's like lately. It's been a lot of death, but it's not lately. It's just always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are always dying.
People are always going to die.
Absolutely.
But every once in a while, something hits you like really hardcore. Pat Sajak passed away, and that hit me. And we weren't like friends like that, but I remember when we were doing the outdoor shows in Yellow Springs, Ohio, and Pat Sajak came out there for the first time, how open he was to be around people. We were doing stuff within a bubble. Like, he probably didn't have stage time. And I felt like at that time, he just got reinvigorated, like just a new love. I started seeing him pop up doing shows in L.A., and I just saw like something hit him where he like, it's hard to stay in love with this all the time.
Yeah.
And especially like his level when you make millions not even doing it.
Yeah.
So how do you get somebody to maintain that passion when I don't need it to survive?
Right.
And I just felt like a rebirth. He was excited about it. He passed away. And then when I was talking to Steve O was like, yeah, but he went out. Because Steve O was probably kind of thinks about death every day.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
He said he went out. He said he was at a great place in his career. It wasn't like, no. He said, like, you think about Robin Williams or whatever, he's like, it's kind of like a bitch out move to suicide. That's going to be hard for people to take, period.
Right.
He said he was in his sleep or whatever, and it was people, and he lived his life.
Right.
And I've said on a lot of platforms I've been on, I said, two things we guaranteed: the born date when we're here and the expiration date.
Yep.
Those two things that you cannot deny. That's about the most important thing is, what do you do in your dash? What do you do in that period from here to here?
Yeah.
And then if a person lived their life to the fullest, did a lot of things they wanted to do or whatever, like, we're the ones, I say, oh, I miss you, but they fucking say, have a good life.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Amen,
Enjoy
bro.
your fucking life. Like, every day we get, sometimes people like this, well, Monday, well, I'm just going to relax. I'm going to wait till Saturday to live. Instead of living fucking every moment.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, absolutely, man. Amen, dude. So
Yep.
we appreciate it, man. So go check it out, DonaldRollins.com.
Did I end on a dark note?
No, that's a good note.
No, we usually end on a dark note.
And another thing, this is another thing. I don't take self pictures with anybody anymore because I don't want to be a part of your RIP library. I would be so mad if I die and I'm not on everybody's timeline. I think I've taken enough pictures of my life, and it's so funny because people not even original with the death captions.
No, it's all the same shit.
It's like
yeah.
RIP. I know you looking down on us. I'm like, well, here's the thing. Everybody saw everybody going to heaven. There's a couple people like, I know you're looking up at us. I know you're looking up at us right now. And it's always this shit. Oh man, I was just with them yesterday.
Yep.
Oh, this shit hurts. But now you post so many RP photos. Now you got motherfuckers talking about, no, this one hurts.
Right.
This one hurts more than the last one.
That hurt. Yep.
So I hope it's a celebrating picture of me, not the RIP.
Amen.
Because if I pass next week, must be like, oh man, we just interviewed him. His last interview before he just said, I'm out of here.
I love it, bro. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. This was a lot of fun, man. We went 0 to 60 real quick.
Yeah, we did. We did.
And
We hit a lot of spots.
Which one is my camera, son? Anyone my camera? And for all y'all bitches that got upset because I said bitches, I wasn't talking to you.
Do you actually got a couple more minutes to do a quick video?
Yeah.
Cool. We'll go next door. We got a studio. We're at 94,000 subscribers on KFC Radio, the YouTube channel. I need to have it hit 6 figures. I need 100,000 for 2022. Let's make it happen. When we hit 100K, we'll give you all sorts of content. We're going to deliver on everything we've been promising. So please just subscribe. All you got to do is log in with your Gmail, click subscribe. Whether or not you actually even use YouTube doesn't fucking matter. All it does is help us. So take your Gmail, log in, click subscribe, and help us out.